13. 6-foot board cost $588. How can we figure out price per foot? Have your calculator out and help me out. So 588 divided by 6.
98.
98?
Yeah.
So 98 cents per foot would be the unit price. 98 cents per foot. Some of the, if you ever went to like Carter Lumber or 84 Lumber or somewhere like that, they sell their wood by the foot. As a matter of fact, was it Menards or was it? I think Menards. It might be Home Depot. One of those two, either Menards or Home Depot, used to sell it by the foot. You would go down through there and it would say, you know, for 1-inch pine boards, it would say 98 cents per foot. And nobody understood it, so then they started changing it, saying, okay, this board is $588, this board is $788, so on, so on, so on. For an 8-foot board. 8-foot board, they tell us is $879. How are we going to find how much that is per foot?
879 divided by 8.
So somebody do that for me.
1.098.
So about $1.10, we'll say. So just like we were talking last time, is it better off? 2 seconds. Is it better to buy the longer board this time? Is it cheaper?
No.
Not necessarily. Not all the time. 10 foot. Same idea, right? Somebody help me out looking in your book. What's the price of a 10 foot? So I don't have to keep looking back.
1068.
And we're going to divide that by what? What's that give us?
1. Do you round these up or not?
Yeah, it depends.
It's like 1.068. So you round it up.
So 1.07 per foot.
I can't. I always feel.
About a 12 foot. What was the price of a 12-foot board?
13.43.
We're going to divide that by 12. What's that give us?
I'll get my calculator. I gave left that.
What is it?
1.11.
1.12 per foot. They have a 14-foot board. How much was a 14-foot board?
1565.
1565 divided by 14.
$112.
112 again.
Yeah.
16-foot board, they had 16-foot. I'm gonna quit writing all the other stuff up here. Just tell me something divided by 16, what was it?
1788 divided by 16.
So divide that and tell me what the answer is.
I got 112.
112 per foot. 18-foot board, did they have an 18-foot board? Not sure why I circled that. 18 foot, so it's 112 again. Came out 112 again, is that right? That 20-foot board, did they have a 20-foot board? So that's as high as they went, it's 20 foot, or did it go farther? So 20 foot divided by, or whatever the price is, divided by 20 foot, what's that? 125? So we got to here, 12, 14, 16, and 18. What happened to the prices? They were all the same, weren't they? Why do you think this one's cheaper and then we start getting more expensive? This one, how come, a lot of this just doesn't make sense to me. How come, let's start off here. Why is the 8-foot more expensive than both those? What might make you think that the 8-foot's more expensive than a 6-foot or a 10-foot? Yeah, but with a 10-foot, that doesn't work out. All of them are supposed to be the same.
Maybe they sell more of the 8-foot.
Sell more of us. So they sell more of them, so they can charge more for them. All right? Just like if you go to one of these places and you're buying a board like that, they sell more of the 8-foot 2x4s because that's what you build things out of. That's a normal room size, a normal wall size is 8 foot tall. So they sell more of those. So if you go to buy an 8-foot 2x4, it's a little more expensive than buying a 10 or a 12-foot 2x4. All right. Then we got to this certain area, and what was true about all 4 of those? They were all the same. How come you think maybe they were all the same? They don't buy near as many of those, so they just give a normal standard price on those. But then we got to this one, the 20-foot, and it was a lot higher than any of the rest of them. They sell a lot of them also. And if you remember back to the problem, they were talking about decking boards. Well, if I'm building a deck, I want few as boards as I could possibly put on my deck, right? You don't want to build it. If I'm building a deck, I don't want a board here and a board there and a board there and a board there and a board there, a bunch of separate pieces, because that's not going to make for a good deck. That gives it more places to screw up and the boards to shrink or expand, and you got holes in it and everything else. So for decking boards, they sell a whole lot more of these so that you can run fewer boards. Other questions?
Can you do 11 on 264?
11 on 264. Guaranteed. I think I told you this last couple of tests, right? Everything's getting a little harder and I'm making my tests harder. A lot of these challenge problems on the next test. Algebra problems and stuff like that where you actually have to think a little bit. Ricardo Price wants to purchase laundry detergent. Double strength detergent costs $7.11 for a 50-ounce box. It's problem 11. So I'm just going to write down some of this stuff as we go. Double strength detergent. I don't know if that means anything or not. Double strength might mean something to the problem. Who knows? We'll figure it out here in a minute. Cost $7.11 for 50 ounces. Then it says that will wash 26 loads. So this one will do 26 loads. $9.99 for a 100-ounce box. So some other box is $9.99, and it's a 100-ounce. And you could probably, and this is what my wife would do if she was looking at this. She would look at this and go, well, that's 7-Eleven for 50. This one's twice as big. $10 isn't twice as much as that, so this has to be the better buy. Is that the way it works? And that's what they're trying to get you on some of this stuff like this. So you gotta look a little deeper into it. It says 100-ounce box that will wash 64 loads. So this will do 64 loads. Then it says regular strength detergent costs $9.99. So we got another box that's $9.99. And it's a 200-ounce box. And it will do 64 loads. Calculate the price per ounce. So they want per ounce for A. Let's just do that first. How are we going to figure out how much this first one is? Let's call this, we'll call this number 1, this one number 2, this one number 3. How are we going to figure out how much detergent number 1 is per ounce? So 7-Eleven divided by 50. Somebody do that for me.
114.
Let's go out a little farther just to make sure. 2? So 0.142. Number 2, ignore that.
Why didn't we go out farther on the other pumps?
Now, this one we're getting ready to compare them, so you never know if maybe all of them are 0.14, and we want to go out a little farther so that we can. What do we do with this one? $9.99 divided by 100.
Be 0.0999.
Number 3. What are we going to do with it? $9.99 divided by 200.
0.049.
So per ounce, which one's the better buy?
Number 3.
The third one. If we were just going by per ounce. That says determine the best buy. So we want to decide which of these is the best buy. How could we decide that?
Well, take like how much it is by ounce, by how many ounces it's in
I keep going.
Well, I don't know where I'm going with it. I'm trying to say, like, if you take the ounce, like what it is per ounce, would you like times it by how many ounces is in? Like it's 0.049 for number 3. Would you take 0.049 times 200? 200 ounces.
That's just going to give us back what we started with. You're just going backwards because we just divided it.
It'd be number 3, then, wouldn't it? It would be the same thing.
We need to do something with what's different about the 3 of them. Other than their size and their price, what else did they give us?
With the double strength.
What's the other numbers they gave us? It's up there on the board.
Oh, how many loads it makes?
How many loads it does, right? So if we have, that first one costs about 14 cents per ounce, and it does 26 loads. The second one costs about 9 or 10 cents per ounce and does 64 loads. And then the third one costs about 4 or 5 cents per ounce, and it does 64 loads. Well, how can we decide which one is gonna give us more for our money? Once we've divided that, what could we do with the money that we have there?
Divided by the loads.
Could divide it by the loads, right? So let's divide each one of these by the loads. What are you gonna divide this one by?
24 loads, or 24.
20,
6.
26? What are you gonna divide this one by?
64.
And this one?
64. The first one, how many spaces did we go out?
2 or 3.
0.005.
Then what?
Second one's 0.0015. Wow, I think you got that one.
We got that far.
Next one. 0.0007.
So remember, this is money. So which one is costing us less per load? Number 3. So which one's the better buy as far as the money goes? Number 3.
Wouldn't that make the company like lose money though? Because you'd be making less off of something you cost more to make.
What do you mean?
Because obviously put something else like 200 ounces. It's gonna cost probably like cost more to manufacture than something that would only wash 100 ounces, but they're charging less for it. You know what I mean? If I'm just
Yeah, sort of, but
they're probably
again, did they say that these are exactly the same detergents? Said we got 3 different detergents, right? Now let's look at, let's say that, let's say these 2. Well, not even that. Let's look at these 2 and try to see what Andrew's saying. He's saying, well, if it's twice as much, then it's costing them twice as much to produce it. Is that necessarily the case? Explain to me what you guys see every day that might tell you that, hey, that doesn't make any sense. If I go to Walmart to buy a soda, or into a convenience store to buy a soda, you got a bunch of different sizes, right? You got probably a 20 ounce. They probably have the 1 liters now, right? Most places carry the 1 liters. Then you got a 2 liter. How much does the 20 ounce?
About $2.
Almost $2, right? It's as a matter of fact, some places it's like ends up $2.02 with the tax. So let's say if you walk in there, Speedway is like $1.79, something like that. How much is the 1 liter?
Like $1. Some products, like you can get a 1 liter of like Coke or Dr. Pepper for like $1.
Let's even go just. Let's not make it that cheap.
$1.50. $1.25.
Usually, I think the one if you go into a convenience store, well, let's do Walmart. Let's do Walmart, because Walmart, I know the exact prices at Walmart. All right. For a 20 ounce, does anybody know what a 20 ounce is at Walmart?
$1.89.
I think it's like $1.69. All right, so it's pretty close. $1.69. A 1 liter at Walmart, you can get for what? $1. A 2 liter at Walmart, a lot of times you can get for what?
So you can get more pop.
$1.
Cheaper.
How can you get these 2 that are bigger than this one? All the same, pop, whatever it is.
20 ounces ready to go.
Yeah, it's more convenient.
Drink it. Yeah.
But
Like the 2 liter,
So-
you have to take home, you have to put it in the fridge, make it cold.
you don't
put it
have
in
to
a cup.
for like one pop.
Well,
So this one's more convenient?
That's what I
So
said.
they're charging you a
And
little
it's already
more?
cold.
Yeah, most people don't wanna carry around a big old 2 liter, so they just buy a bottle.
But how, so let's go back to Andrew's point, but it costs, with a 2 liter, does anybody know how many ounces there are in a 2 liter? Get your phones out. Look it up, go on,
How much is in the 2 liter thing of soda?
How many ounces?
Are in the 2-liter soda?
That's serious.
use your phone for something constructive.
Oh, mine
For
goes like,
once.
give it a low.
I do all the time.
For how many ounces are the 2 ounce of it?
Got an attitude on that.
Something constructive, everybody thinks it's constructive, Mike.
I don't think I have a signal right now, honestly. Oh, let's say there's 33.8140226 ounces in a liter.
There's what?
There's this much in a liter.
We'll see it.
You don't want to see it? 33.8140226 ounces in 1 liter.
So that didn't answer my question, because I asked for what?
How many ounces were in a 2 liter, right?
In a 2 liter. So how could we find that?
Or in-
Multiply by
I
2.
got it.
Take that and multiply it by,
67.62.
That's what I mean. Like,
so we got a 20 ounce, we got a 33, this one's about 1.5 times that one, right? And then we got this one that's 3 times as much as that one, and these two are cheaper. How can the company get away with producing that much more?
Because they get rid of more maybe. Like they get rid of more liters and they get 20 ounce. So they sell the 20 ounce at a higher. So
Now they probably get rid of the bottle more than.
Because if they sold it like if
I
they
would think 20 ounces probably sell a lot more than,
Yeah.
So that probably makes up for the difference, honestly.
you think that's what it is, so they're losing money on a 2 liter?
So that's why they
No, I
put
mean,
more
like,
on the little one.
it would seem like losing money, but since they sell so many 20 ounces, it probably makes up.
They can lower the
Yeah,
price
they
of
probably
the
sell it
liter.
in bulk, like in
Yeah.
huge bulk.
Or more people buy the 2-liter since it's at all.
Number one, I don't think that they're gonna lose money on a 2 liter, that'd be so stupid
Yeah,
to
that's,
even
I'm,
make
not,
it.
I'm not saying they're losing money. I'm just like, it would seem like they would cost more to have a 2 liter, to like manufacture a 2 liter. So, but they're selling less for it.
Yeah,
but I'm
it's
saying it
more
probably,
plastic and everything.
yeah, but then it probably makes up because they sell so many 20 ounces. You know what I mean? So they're not really losing money. It's just it would look like. I don't know.
Yeah, because like if this was right, then the 2 liter would be like a $3 thing, while the 20 ounce would still be $1. You know what I'm saying?
If you went by ounces.
Yeah, like if you went by like what it's actually supposed to be.
So how can they do it? I'm confused.
They sell it in bulk, and they just
Maybe some people are just not as dumb as I think they are. And they
So
actually think
The
that
demand
they're
for
better.
20 ounces is higher, making the price higher. Ain't legit, right? I mean,
So that's part of it, so,
Do you know the reason?
yeah.
So-
On everything.
so the demand for a 20 ounce, they're gonna sell more of those. But usually, if they're gonna sell more of the 20 ouncers, if we go back to sort of what Andrew was trying to say earlier, wouldn't that mean you'd make the 20 ouncers less and the
You're
2 liters
making
more?
You're making more out of the 20 ounces.
So the demand of it.
So you're making more money the more you sell.
From demand.
So what's that allow them to do on the 2 liters?
Lower the price
Why?
because
They're not making enough money.
They don't need to make as much
That's what
off
I was
of
trying to
those.
say. honestly.
Right, so maybe they don't need to make as much off those. I almost don't think that that's the case though. I don't think that Pepsi is making less money on their 2 liters than they are on their 20 ounces.
You know, probably what it is Indian people go in and buy a bunch of 2 liters for their shops.
See, I know what it is. They
See,
just-
we're,
they water
we're,
down the
we're not
soda.
even gonna start.
They water it down.
The young man of color starting to be a racist towards Indian. Well, we're not gonna have that.
I feel like they just water it down.
Why do you, come up with something else, use your brain a little bit, why, I'm telling you that I don't think they make more money off of 20 ounces than they do 2 liters.
Okay, since the 2 liters are less, more people are gonna buy the 2 liters. That makes no sense. This makes no sense.
The only way that this would work is if the $1.69 wasn't what the actual manufacturer was selling it for, if that's what like the actual, okay, so say Pepsi sells their pop to Walmart, okay, that's not, then that means the $1.69 isn't what Pepsi sells it for, that means that's what Walmart sells it for, so Pepsi has to be selling it for like 50 cents a pop. And then Walmart's throwing in the extra $1.09 or however much it is.
So there's more than one company there making profit off of this, right? That's part of it. It's not just Pepsi making money off of it.
Oh,
Now let's,
suggested retail price, is that what that is? Yeah.
so now let's go to, and that's a good point. So why, let's go to Walmart. Since we've got that cleared up that, hey, Pepsi's probably not, you know, Pepsi's making the same amount.
Pepsi's probably selling like the 2 liters for like, say like 50 cents and then like 20 ounces for like 20 cents or something like that. And they're just,
I bet they're selling them for the same price.
you think they're still selling them for $1.69?
No,
Well, like,
the two are the same price.
wow. So you think they're not making nothing off those?
I think Pepsi is
I don't
selling
know about that.
to Walmart. What'd you say Pepsi was
I
charging
think they're-
Walmart?
I don't know. I mean, they
So
might be
what'd you
selling
say?
like
You said 50 cents.
a piece.
And
Those might be like 75 cents a piece, right? Then I don't know. I don't
50
know what
cents a
those-
piece, probably.
50 cents a piece.
So they're selling all the same.
so they're selling them all the same price, and then Walmart's making up these
So then-
prices.
So then how are they, how is Pepsi able to
Now that's my next
take
point.
out the money with like the extra plastic they have to use for the 2 liter? Because it's a bigger bottle, obviously, so that's going to be more, it's going to be like a cent more in plastic, but that's still, you know, that's a cent more.
How is, so you guys got it in your head, bigger bottle here.
It's
So
gonna cost
this
more
one,
to make.
this one's gonna cost more to produce.
Yeah.
It's probably it's all the same
Piece,
because
that's what you think. That's what I think.
So if we had a 20-ounce bottle and a 2-liter bottle, and we were looking at them, you think that the plastic in this one's
You're
gonna
gonna have to
cost
weigh it.
that much more than this one?
You have to wait.
Bro, it's getting filled up with more of their product.
The amount of plastic that's in these 2 bottles and the difference between them isn't enough with all the bottles that Pepsi produces
To affect the
to go
price.
per bottle. It's probably, this bottle probably cost them about that much more per bottle to make than this 20-ounce bottle.
Yeah, okay,
So
what
are
about
they
the
even gonna
ingredients?
notice that?
Would they know?
So that doesn't affect them. Now, as far as the product goes, it's inside of it. There's 3 times as much product in this one as there is in that one. That's gonna be a little more money, but if you go down to the Pepsi company, are they sitting there and they got Andrew sitting there at his station and he's making 20 ounces, 20 ounces, 20 ounces, 20 ounces. What do? They're making giant, huge vats of this stuff. So when they take 20 ounces out of that 10,000 gallon vat, compared to 2 liters, 67 ounces, is there really a big difference there? Probably not. So is it costing them a whole lot more to produce this amount than that amount? Not really.
What also affects the price, I feel like, is the branding and the name, the value the name brings. Like,
And that's one of the reasons that these are more. When you're looking at a 20-ounce bottle, when you look at a 2-liter, if I grabbed the 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew from 10 years ago, guess what it looked like? The exact same thing that it looks like now. All right? But with the 20-ounce bottles, what do they do with those all the time?
constantly put new designs.
They're
on
putting
it,
new designs on it and
keepsakes
stuff and
yeah.
changing stuff and changing the wrapper on it and
Promoting people and
Caps are
different-
always looking different.
caps are looking different, so this one, part of the reason it's more is the marketing and stuff it costs, so that would raise it up, cost them more to produce those. So even though this one's less, I would bet if you go to Walmart and if you were a manager at Walmart and you looked at their price when Pepsi brings their stuff, I would bet you that a 20-ounce bottle costs them more from Pepsi than a 2-liter bottle does.
That
Right.
makes sense.
Since I feel like it all matters like with everything, for like with say like marketing and stuff. Okay, say if they like make thousands of dollars off like a commercial, like a Pepsi commercial, then they're not gonna really need to make as much off the actual product. You see what I'm saying?
Yep, but change this to Pepsi being your company.
You don't wanna
Because-
make as much as you can.
Right,
As
just
an
because you
American.
make more here, does that mean you're gonna
Okay,
say,
so why we're making
ah,
the
you
same
know
thing
what?
here
I'm gonna be nice to Sydney Dan, I made millions of dollars off that
then? So
commercial
why aren't they doing the same thing right here?
that I had on the Super Bowl. So, I'm gonna start selling the 20-ounce bottles for 50 cents.
What they're doing right here, though, is what I'm saying. Like they're doing the same. Like they're giving up
That
money
messed
right
up the
here.
whole
There,
market,
no,
it's obvious.
Pepsi's not giving up money.
But they could make more. Is what I'm saying. Like,
You're right, they could make more,
So
maybe.
They could sell those for $2 a
Deals.
And some places do sell 2 liters for $2.79 or whatever. So it depends on the company. Pepsi's making,
They're making their money.
they're making their money. Now what happens if Pepsi all of a sudden goes and tells Walmart, hey, we're gonna make you pay
$2 a pop.
That's gonna
$2.20
affect all the other companies.
$2.20 for each of our 2 liters. What's Walmart gonna do?
They're gonna have to boost theirs up to like $6 every 2.
And they're gonna quit buying them because when they boost them up that high, what's gonna happen?
Like
The demand go down.
People aren't gonna buy them.
They
And
buy
when
the
people don't buy
operators.
them, they're sitting on their shelf doing nothing, taking up space at Walmart. Walmart's gonna quit buying them from Pepsi.
I think another thing that helps you sell more, is like anywhere you go, you're gonna see the 2-ounce bottles or 20-ounce bottles before you see like they're up front or something. You know what I mean?
Like where you're checking out at.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's,
You're gonna pass
so,
them.
and that's another thing is, when you look at, next time you go in a store, and we gotta stop here in a minute so we can move along. Next time you go in a store, you're walking down the aisle in a store, it's not as bad as it used to be, but it's still pretty bad. You got your shelves, and you're looking at your shelves. First of all, who's the normal person that's in a store shopping?
Old people.
Parents, grandparents.
Go with it.
It's not as bad as it used to be, but it used to be set up like this really bad when I was growing up. My dad never went grocery shopping. All right? Mom went. So, my mom was about 5 foot tall. So she would come to about here. Those 2 shelves right there. Guess what kind of products are on those 2 shelves?
Oh, women.
More expensive.
Most expensive stuff.
And the most wanted.
Guess what kind of stuff was up here on this top shelf?
The great value off brand stuff, all that.
I noticed that.
And-
It's in the cereal.
And for my mom,
I don't know why. but-
being that she was real short, guess what she could not do?
Reach up there.
She couldn't reach it.
It's not inclined.
And my mom wasn't a small lady either, as far as her girth went. So on this stuff down here, guess what else she didn't want to do?
Reach down and get it.
She didn't want to have to bend down and get it.
So she just grabbed whatever was in front of her.
No. She still got the.
They got her way.
We weren't. But that's what they're counting on. Hey, if this woman's in here and she sees this, but this one up here is 20 cents cheaper, but she can't reach it.
There's nobody around to help her. There's never
My mom, the way she was, she would wait and say, hey, grab that off that top shelf for me. And just somebody walking down the aisle, didn't matter. But most people wouldn't do that. Most people would just say, oh, it's just 20 cents. And they throw it in. And it's just 20 cents on all 100 items you buy throughout the store, that adds up after a while.
That's when you go to ring up and you're like, dang, $200, what? So,
That one thing I wanted to say.
All right, today, coupons and rebates. Coupons and rebates. We're going to calculate an item's final price after using a coupon or receiving a rebate. Coupon. Coupon is a discount offered by manufacturers, stores, and service establishments in the form of tickets that are redeemed at the time of purchase. This book's a little old because if you go into Kroger now, do you have to have a ticket for Kroger? What can you do? You can download the stuff, right? You can download it and it's right there. I think my wife, she walks in there and she like shows them her phone because you can download the coupons right on your phone. A rebate is a discount given by manufacturer, stores, or service establishments in the form of a refund. You got to be careful with rebates. The most common one right now, Menards, is
11%.
great about their rebates. What is it?
11%.
It's 11%. You get an 11% rebate. That sounds great. So if I go in there and I spend $100, I'm going to mail in my receipt and they're going to mail me back what? What's 11% of 100? I tried to make it easy. If it's out of 100, that's what a percent's out of 11. They're going to mail me back $11, right? No, that's not the way it works. Guess what they mail you? Yes.
Mr. Eversole, do you have Banner Soraya right now?
Yes.
Could you please come to the office, please?
Sure.
Thanks.
They're not going to mail you $11. What are they going to do?
Probably take out the
Nope.
keep it in his house.
They mail you a card,
gift card or
a
something.
gift card for Menards
Yeah, it's been-
for $11. So you got to go back and spend that $11 where?
I'm in-
At Menards. And probably you're not just going to spend $11 the next time you go in there. You're probably going to spend more than that. So what's giving you that rebate do? Get you back in the store again. Look online. I'll try to put it online. It might already be there. So sometimes with rebates, you got to watch out. Now there are some places that give you rebates that actually give you money back.
Then a bunch of furniture places have rebates too. Like bedding,
Some.
yeah.
And again, you gotta be careful because like with Menards, it's a mail-in rebate. So you mail in, and you gotta wait 3 months or something, and then they send you it back. Maybe they send you back cash. Menards doesn't. A lot of times there'll be a voucher for in the store. Here's $11 free for
In the store.
in that certain store, nowhere else.
That's like on GameStop trading. So you trade in, you get a lot more store credit, but if you get cash, you won't get nothing.
Yeah, if you go to like GameStop, someplace like that, they want to give you store credit. Same with taking something back. A lot of times you'll get
I hate that.
store credit
Yeah.
instead of just getting the money back.
That's the one gift card.
And then
Gold does it a lot.
$4.50.
Take something back that's like $200 and get store credit.
That's like GameStop trying to give me, like I had the brand new Call of Duty for like a couple months and I was off it. It was Black Ops 3. I took it in, they tried to give me like $5 for it.
Everybody pretty much have that?
Yeah, rest
Oh,
of
I'm
the
just
stuff
saying.
back. You said it's never out of the box.
Yeah, that was a playing trade actually.
Oh,
Actually, yeah, they were
Garbage.
Yeah.
Where
That kid
is
is
that?
garbage.
Now they can do like instant great clips.
Yeah. He's like, they were garbage, but when I PS3 came out, I traded my PS2 and it was like $25. Like in-store credit too.
The most I got out of anything was my PlayStation Vita. I traded that in. I got $80 for it. Like I got way more than I thought I would.
Yeah. Like cash. Anyway.
Yeah, $80.
I tried to trade my Wii in at GameStop or whatever.
Yeah.
And they only gave me like $10 for it.
Yeah, they gave me 20 for mine. It's not.
I don't get it.
In-store credit
I
too.
traded some of my stuff for games. I ain't even into gaming no more.
I don't have time for it.
I don't have time for anything.
They said that they only give them like $6 for his.
The stupid senior project was so dumb.
They said literally like $6.
So like make like a bunch of games. I was like,
Why'd you commit to
I can only imagine what they were offering me for Max.
Right away.
My phone's like branded and I got it last
Thanks
Christmas.
to senior
I go in
project.
and be like, oh, it'll be $10.
It's dumb.
Yes.
Hi, Mr. Eversole, it's Ms. Thomas in here. Brianna is being signed out.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
So, I saw the guitar.
What's wrong?
And they were like, yeah, what do you do for $450 for it?
$450, bro.
I was like, okay, that's good. It was like $700 guitar. I was like, okay, that's fine. And then they're like, well, we'll only give you like $380.
Honestly, if
For
somebody
cash.
needs
And
like
I hate my
that,
guitar. The
like,
guitar
carrying them,
is
I would
always
say no.
trash.
It's
like the Walmart.
I wish you worried about their own game right now. That's why I
They're all used and.
so that you're at where you want to be. Because if not, if you set up something before then, you're so
You
aligned,
have
then
to drive all the way to
you know.
Me and Lucas had a conversation.
They told me.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's actually
yeah.
what I
Oh,
was
we did? Oh, yeah.
I ended up selling it. I got.
Where did you guys stay at in Florida?
We stayed in Key Largo, but we went to Key West a lot.
Pretty good.
It was like a little resort.
Ironically,
It was nice. It was cheap. It was like we stayed in like a trailer at the resort. Pretty cheap.
Was it nice?
Yeah, that's alright.
I've seen a bunch of his
The hurricane wrecked that place up though. Like, yeah, that like docks were straight crashed, and some of like the other houses were all messed up. They were still cleaning up trees everywhere and stuff.
I seen Lucas's Snapchat. He was like, you guys were riding bike. Just quit.
It was so bright, bro.
He was like,
Oh, and that video was like, it was like,
yeah.
It was weird riding the bikes though, because there's straight bike lanes and there are cars have to watch out for you. I kept catching myself when there's a car behind you wanting to go to the left side of the road, get out of the way. That's what you do in Ohio, but that's the worst thing. You're not supposed to be, you can actually get in trouble if you're on the wrong side of the road on a bike. They treat bikes just like cars. Get this point, and you turn and everything, but.
That's weird. Did you ride bikes?
Yes, we rode bikes everywhere. I still didn't trust people. I was looking around everyone with cars around me. I was in the bike lane like, oh yeah.
How's you in the bike lane?
People be flying by you like, choo, like.
Riding bikes on the
I went to Chicago and like, I was crossing the street like sidewalk and the light turned and they turned red green. They didn't even wait for you. They just going.
Yeah.
they don't care, man. They'll run you over in cities.
It was only $10 to ride a bike for the whole day.
That's not bad.
All right, I thought I could find a coupon on here. If you get a chance, and it's not like it used to be because most of the coupons are digital and different things now. But if you get a coupon and actually look at the coupon and read it, on the coupon somewhere, on the coupon, it'll have all this fine print somewhere on it. Number one, it gives the expiration date, so you gotta look for the expiration date on it. That's one of the things that a coupon will. Then the second thing is, and a lot of people, I knew people who, like let's say you have, it's not as big a deal now as it used to be, but when people used to have like a Dayton Daily News delivery route, where they delivered the newspaper, and they would get extra papers. Well, if they had 50 extra papers, if you look at these coupons, it on here has a cash value. And that cash value normally for a coupon, let's say it's a 50-cent coupon for whatever. Normally that cash value is something like 1 cent. Maybe even less than 1 cent. But I know the people who used to deliver the newspaper would go through, cut out all those coupons, and then what you can do, or what you could do, is you could mail all those coupons back to that company, and they would pay you the 1 cent for each coupon. So if they had, an extra 50 papers, then they would make 50 cents off of mailing that back in.
Pretty good, but.
All right, and if stamps now are almost 50 cents, so it'd be worthless to do it now because you'd be making like 2 or 3 cents. But you make 50 cents. But if you do that for every coupon, and there's 100 coupons in the Sunday paper, well then it starts adding up after a while. So if you look on there, next time you see a coupon, look on it, and it'll have a cash value at the bottom of it. So you could actually mail it back into the company and make that money rather than actually buying the item and saving it. Let's say it's for something stupid that you don't need, like Dalton said, toothpaste. You didn't need toothpaste apparently. So if it's for something that you don't need, you mail it back in, you make the money off of it.
Mr. Eversole. Actually, I'll wait till after the minutes. That's one if I use the restroom.
Go ahead, write this down. Final price is the total selling price minus your total savings. That's just a common sense formula here. Your total savings, might be the discount, might be the coupon, whatever it is. I gave you guys passes the other time, didn't I?
Yeah.
Do we just hang on to these or we get back to you?
Use one, you fill it out, and I sign it.
I remember when those were like a big thing.
Like the planners?
No, the passes, bathroom passes.
I mean, as long as people actually use them when you have to go.
Yeah.
Remember back when I was younger, dude, before we were in high school, like in high school had like those real tiny planners. Yeah. We never got the chance to have those, but I remember those were like super duper tiny.
How is this class sold? Fu here had a coupon for $2 off a package of bacon. That was valid if he also purchased a dozen eggs. The regular price for bacon was $3.99, and the eggs were $1.09. What was the final price? So what was his final bill? How could we do that? What are you gonna have to do first?
Tell you what, if you bought bacon and eggs together, would be without the $2 off.
So $3.99 plus $1.09. Somebody do that for me. So that's his cost. Then what are we gonna do with that? Subtract off the $2. What do you end up with?
308.
Now, how come stores do stuff like that? How come they say we'll give you $2 off if you also buy this? Right, so something like with eggs, number one, their eggs, they go bad. They got to get rid of them every so often. And they're probably stuff that does go bad, like milk and eggs. if they're charging you $1.09 for eggs, they're probably getting the eggs for, that's probably got a markup on it of 200 or 300%. So they're probably getting their eggs for 40 cents a dozen or something like that, and they're marking it up more than twice, 2.5 times as much. So they're gonna make more profit as far as the percentage goes off these eggs if they get you to buy them rather than if they have to throw them out. Menards has 11% rebate on your total purchase. You spend $196.72 including tax. I shouldn't say including tax, get rid of that. Not including tax. If sales tax is 7%, that's, is that what it is here? I think it's 7% in Indiana, isn't it? So if sales tax is 7%, about how much of your, well, we can leave the including tax. About how much will you get in rebate? So let me erase that because I wanted the including tax. I should have kept reading the problem. So this is your total bill.
Is that with the 7%?
That's with the sales tax. That's your total bill. When you're done, when we go to mail in our rebate, and a lot of people have this problem and they think Menards is ripping them off. When we go to mail that in, is Menards going to give us back 11% of that? No, because part of that was what? The sales tax. So we got to figure out how much of that was sales tax. Now on a lot of receipts now, it tells you how much it cost you, how much sales tax. It's two different lines, and it's got the total, right? But here they didn't tell us that. So how can we figure out what percentage of this was sales tax? So 196.72 times what? 0.07. So somebody do that for me.
You get $13.77.
$13.77. So that's how much tax there was. What are we going to do with that number? We got to go back and take this number, 196.72, and we're going to subtract off the sales tax. What's that leave us with? So how much money did we actually spend? $182.95. Now, we're mailing this in. How much money should they send us back on this rebate? 11% of that. So what do we got to do there? Times that by 0.11. $20.12. So when we get that rebate back, that's what it should be for, $20.12. And again, with what Menards does, not all places do this as far as rebate. Some will rebate you cash. What they do is they give you in-store credit. And guess what happens with that in-store credit? Guess when you get it, it's got an expiration date. If you don't spend it within, I don't remember what it is, but if you don't spend it within a certain amount of time, it just disappears. It's no good.
You have to wait a long time anyway for it to even come back.
Right. It takes, usually the rebate takes 2 or 3 months.
Yeah, my grandpa doesn't much rebate a lot, so.
So if you, number one, you wait 2 or 3 months and then you get it, then you forget it's at your house and you only have like a month or 2 to spend it. Forget all about it being there. All right, why is there no? That doesn't make sense. Messed up. Not put the assignment on the PowerPoint. There you go. Your assignment's on page 265. 265. Fix this PowerPoint, put it on there. Previous. No. Previous. In page 265, 1 through 18.
That's it. What y'all looking at? I don't think